Welcome back to Main Street Living. We are just getting started, and Danielle, you had Cheryl and I kind of laughing, not laughing at the situation, but like you had a funny story or a weird story for us.
Oh, I was just mentioning, we're talking about weddings, and my brother and his fiance actually had to postpone their wedding a whole year. So they're just getting this September. They're going September 2021.
Ooh.
Which, yeah.
Wow.
And that's so tough. And I know that that's happening a lot. And people have anxiety about this. A lot of brides don't know what to do. And we have the perfect person to talk to about this. And we're going to bring in now Lundyn Carter. She's the CEO and founder of Laine Lundyn. And she's going to join us and give us some advice. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So how has the pandemic affected your business? Because I know you have a bridal boutique, and that obviously has changed things. And now you're lending a hand to help out some brides during this time.
Yeah, so we had to close our doors about 2 weeks into March. And so since then, we've really pivoted our purpose to just supporting and being there for brides as they're making these transitions and changes for their big day. We wanted to just really provide helpful information and resources. So as they're sitting at home figuring out either if they're going to cancel indefinitely or if they're going to reschedule to another date, what they need to do and what are the steps that they need to take to make sure that both they're protected and also they're able to keep their sanity through all of this, because there's so much uncertainty going on right now.
Sanity is key. And I know you've heard of Bridezilla, and I hope there's not too many of them running around right now. But how do you know what to do? I mean, when do you decide, okay, do I call it? Do I postpone? Do I do a small ceremony?
Yeah, so the main thing that we tell brides is really just stay informed. So the CDC's website is a really great resource. They actually officially had recommended about a month ago now that all weddings be canceled in the United States for at least 8 weeks. And so what they have right now currently on their site is May 15th is kind of that cutoff date. So if your wedding is before that, they just recommend that you just cancel it. Even if you try and do something under 10 people, it's just, for the safety of your friends and family. We've seen so many reports of families that are being impacted by COVID-19. And so, we highly recommend, as well as, on the CDC's website, that just cancel it, stay at home with your fiance, and, your wedding will be bigger and better than ever. Or we also have brides that realize that a more small, intimate wedding is more down their alley.
Could you imagine, though, if you do a small intimate wedding and then you have your photos and everybody's wearing a mask in the picture? I mean, that would be a story to tell to kids way down the road. But what tips do you have for managing anxiety and not turning into a bridezilla right now? Because there's a lot of moving parts with this, the flowers, the photographer, the venue, the cake. I could go on and on.
Absolutely. So one of the main things that we tell brides is just breathe. That's super important. Your mental health as well as your physical health. You want to make sure that you're in a right mental state, especially as you're figuring out, planning for additional costs. You're figuring out, you're speaking with your different vendors, and also just being empathetic that also the vendors that you're using are small businesses and they're going through some of the similar things that you are. So I tell brides, one of the main things is plan for additional costs. Be aware that some vendor fees change season over season. And so, you just want to make sure that, if your photographer is not available for the date that you're looking at in the future, be empathetic to them. And, if you're nice to them, maybe they can move things around or they can provide you another recommendation. At the end of the day, just remember you're marrying the love of your life. That's the most important part. And yeah, just breathe and know that it's okay to have these feelings and these thoughts. Something that we've specifically done for Georgia brides is we created a Facebook support group. So it's called the COVID-19 support group for Georgia brides. And, I definitely welcome people from all other states to join. First, check and see if your state has something similar, because there are some state-by-state CDC guidelines and regulations that may be pertinent specifically to your area. But if you can't find a group like that, you're more than welcome to join our Facebook group. It's really just a place for brides to be able to vent. I feel so bad for the fiancés that are sitting at home with them and they're kind of going through all this. And it's just a nice place for brides to talk with other brides and see how they're, combating the situation.
It's so hard. And I know it's hard for the families as well, and the parents and everybody who's been looking forward to this. And, you think of the military as well, who plan weddings around deployment. So there's so much that goes into this. And thank you so much for having that support group as well. I'm sure it's helpful. We appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.